Well, this is a very, very important Stirling engine, and this one has been designed by Sudhir Baduri. You can see there is a little wooden stand, and these are the various parts of the Stirling engine. This is the box stand on which this engine would be mounted. You can see a vertical screw, and in this screw you screw in the nut on which there is a heat sink, and the heat sink has got a central bore. On the right side is where you actually put in the lamp, and then you take the flywheel and the crank rod and you screw it in the heat sink. This is the crank part. Then you take a connecting rod and screw it to the crank, and you just let it hang around. Then you take the long piston, and there is a small displacer which is made from MC, and you put this long tube in the bore of the heat sink and then lift the crank rod and put it in the displacer. We need another crank. There is another crank which is phased out at 90 degrees, and you now connected the crank rod to the long tube. Finally, you take the flywheel and tighten the screw of the flywheel to the axle so it's solidly connected to it. Now the Stirling engine is almost assembled. You've got to ensure that the displacer and the piston, they rotate smoothly. You need to oil them, and finally take a spirit lamp and heat the right rod. The red part is actually ceramic to insulate, and then you kick-start the flywheel, and you'll be surprised that this engine keeps rotating. It will keep rotating until there is fuel. It's a heat engine and quite a beauty to behold. You can see the con rods and the crank and the flywheel in motion.